So if you blinked at all during the summer preview stream, you would be forgiven in having missed the previews for Legions Imperialis. Suffice it to say, there wasn't much for us. And just to summarize briefly for those of you who have not heard or have not seen the stream, the only releases that they showed during the summer preview stream were some new, well, old Titan weapons that are now coming in plastic. So those are going to be packaged separately as weapon kits, similar to how I believe the the weapons on the dreadnoughts in the main Horsey game are. That's my understanding anyway. And then you can also get them as part of a combined set with a full Warlord or Reaver Titan. So just how they have different options for for purchasing a Warlord or a Reaver Titan with different sets of weapons, those new weapons that are coming from resin now moving into plastic are going to be available in full kits for you to purchase. So I have to be honest, this does not feel like a preview release, something that uh, should be previewed. I feel like Games Workshop probably could have just released this on a Friday, and that would have been a normal release for Legions Imperialis. They've done similar things before. Certainly, when I see our placard on a preview banner, to me that implies something fairly major, something fairly momentous, if I can use that word, for a miniatures game. And so I felt like them saying that we were going to get something in a summer preview, which seems like a fairly big event to me, meant that it was going to be a fairly major release, a fairly major preview. So I was pretty underwhelmed, I have to say, by what we were shown at the preview. I don't really play Titans that much. That's not. I do think they're a great part of the game. I think it's very evocative and thematic to have them as part of Legions Imperialis. But personally, it's not something that I focus on. And so it's not really that exciting for me. And the fact that it's just some weapons that are now being packaged with what we already have is pretty underwhelming. So I never really had a problem with purchasing the resin weapons if I wanted them on any of my Titans, such as they are. And so it's just really doesn't do much for me. And I don't think it really does much for the game either. I certainly don't think this is going to be driving a whole lot of interest in Legions Imperialis going forward. So again, I think it's a misstep on Games Workshop's part to preview this as part of the summer preview, because I think it gave a lot of people the impression, including myself, as we talked about in the past two videos, that there was going to be something more important coming. And to not get that, not to sound petulant, but it was disappointing. I At this point, it kind of leaves us wondering where we stand with Games Workshop. I mean, I know Games Workshop has, from what I understand, the game has sold well, and it continues to sell well. And so I am wondering what is coming up for Legions Imperialis. It has been a while since we had anything substantive, so I don't know what their plans are. I do remember, if I remember correctly, Mechanicum was released without any kind of warning. There definitely, I don't believe, was. I'm having to think back now, but I don't think it was part of a preview show. But I could be wrong. I have not checked my facts on that. But if it wasn't, that could indicate that we will still be getting things, could maybe get a major release without any kind of warning. So we still have hope maybe for this summer that there will be something interesting coming up for Legions Imperialis. I'm shocked that we didn't get at least a campaign book of some kind with some new miniatures. I would imagine we'll get one coming up at least in the coming year, because really, as we talked about in the last video, it's not like Games Workshop has a set of rules for units published in their rule books already for them to produce miniatures to fill those roles. They have to produce a new book in order to publish new miniatures. So those kind of go hand in hand. So I think if the game is going to continue, they've got to publish a new book, they've got to publish new miniatures, and I'm assuming that will come sooner rather than later. So again, disappointed by the previews. I'm curious what your thoughts are. If you're excited for the new Titan weapons, excited for the new kits. I know there are maybe some new head options in the kits as well, so it's not just the weapons. So if you're a big Titan player, let me know if you're super excited about these new weapon options. And I'm hoping to continue to make videos for Legions Imperialis. What I'm planning on doing is trying to make a video talking about how I would produce a new campaign book, showing how I would do it. I have no idea if Games Workshop is watching these videos, if they'll take my suggestions, but maybe you guys will find it interesting. So I don't know when that will be coming, hopefully sometime soon, but I do plan to continue making videos for the channel, continuing to make content, continuing to talk to you guys and interact with you, which is one of the big things that I enjoy about making these videos and continuing this channel. So I will see you in the next video.